Welcome to the Advantech technical training. In this topic we will talk about the data acquisition concept. The outline of this presentation will go through these 6 chapters. First is the DAQ system control process. In this topic we will take factory machine monitor for example, and explain what is the DAQ system control process. Second, we will talk about Advantech provide which kind of data acquisition module, and what is their feature. In the end, we will introduce the difference between DAQ card and remote I/O, and the software support about these two kind of product. Now, we will explain about what is the DAQ system control process. In this page, we use factory machine monitor as example. If we want to monitor the machine status, what is the first step? First, you need to decide which information you want to get, like the machine vibration signal or the machine temperature. With these information, we can choose the right detection sensor to get the signal what you need. Second, before connect sensor to the data acquisition device, the signal should do some pre-process like amplification or filter. Due to the real-world signal may very small or have some noise. Therefore it will need the signal conditioning. After these 2 steps, we can through the DAQ card to convert the signal to computer. And we can use the computer to monitor the signal. Also can through DAQ card to output the signal to control the actuator. This process we call it DAQ system control process. Next, we will going to talk about what kind of data acquisition module Advantech provide to the users. In Advantech we provide 2 different kind of data acquisition device. One is high-speed transmission DAQ card and the other is long-distance transmission remote I/O module. The left-hand side module is DAQ card. It have multiple kind of interface, like PCI, PCIe, or USB. Usually this kind of device will support the high sampling rate, therefore it can used for some signal analysis like vibration control or noise control. But the transmission distance will not very long, due to the long distance transmission may cause the noise or unstable. And the right hand side is remote I/O module. It can support wired connection like RS485 and RJ45. Also it support wireless connection like Wi-Fi or LoRa. These kind of module have longer distance transmission, therefore it can be used in the environment monitor. In this chapter, we will going to talk about DAQ card hardware architecture. Include AIO and DIO architecture and the DAQ card connection. In this chapter we will talk about the DAQ card hardware architecture for analog input and output. There have 5 main part. The most important part is the ADC. ADC is like the heart in DAQ card architecture. It is used to convert the analog signal to digital signal. Then let's go back to the first part MUX. MUX is multiplexer. It is used to switch the channels. After the multiplexer, the signal will be amplified through the amplification. Then transfer to ADC to do the conversion. And there still have the FIFO and PCI bus before the signal transfer to the PC. In the following chapter, we will have more detailed information about these 5 main items in DAQ card hardware architecture. First, we will talk about the ADC and DAC. What is ADC and DAC? The complete name is analog to digital converter and digital to analog converter. For the input part as the picture show, it will need the ADC to convert the data. Through sample, hold and quantization transfer the real-world analog data to digital data to computer. Due to the computer can only read the digital data. For the output part, it is contrary with input part. It will need DA converter to transfer the PC digital data to analog data. Then we can use the meter to measure the analog data like voltage or current. Usually AD converter are the most expensive component in the DAQ card. Therefore, how can we use one ADC to convert so many channels data? It will rely on the multiplexer to switch the channels. With multiplexer, ADC can convert channels data in sequence. For most of the DAQ cards which use only one ADC for multi-channels, their sampling rate will shared by channel number. Due to it need multiplexer to switch the channels, therefore if you use more channels the sampling rate will also decrease. As the sampling rate show in the PCI 1711 datasheet. But for some of the users, they may need the higher sampling rate without sharing and delay. Therefore Advantech also provide another kind of DAQ card which are used independence ADC. That is means every channels have their own ADC. Therefore the sampling rate no need to share with channel numbers. Like Advantech PCI 1714. There also have another different between the card which use single ADC and multiple ADC. For the card use single ADC, it will use multiplexer to switch the channels. Therefore each channel will have small time delay. Like the top picture shown. And for the multiple ADC card, we can also call it simultaneous AI card. Due to it have multiple ADC, therefore different channels data can measure at the same time without time delay. Like the below picture shown. After the multiplexer, it will connect to the amplification or attenuation. Due to the real-world signals are usually very small or large. Therefore it will needs amplifier or attenuator to modify the signal. Let it can match the range of ADC. For the resolution, we have already mentioned it in the last video, common sensor introduction and signal introduction. In this part, we just want to let you know with higher resolution of ADC and proper scale data range, it will have the better quantization performance. The last part is FIFO. FIFO is first in first out memory. Due to the DAQ card usually have the high sampling rate. Therefore it will need the FIFO to save the data. And move FIFO data to system memory as the FIFO is filled to a set level. As the picture shown below. In this chapter, we will going to talk about the DAQ card hardware architecture for digital input and output. For the isolation DIO module, the first part is isolation. With the isolation function, it can support the higher input-output voltage. Then the signal will transfer to digital input-output IC to identify the I/O status. Next transfer to FPGA to calculate it and saving the data. In the end, it will through the software polling way or buffered transferring way go through the bus transfer the data to computer. For the isolation, we have also mentioned it in the last video, common sensor introduction and signal introduction. Isolation is one kind of circuit design with optical coupling element. It can isolate signal source and measurement device. Prevent the system been damaged by unpredictable noise signal. With this design, it can let the digital input and output module can support higher voltage. Here is the DAQ card connection. Some of the Advantech DAQ card is used PCI or PCIe bus connect to computer. Therefore we provide the cable and wiring board as pictures show. With these accessory, customer can easily connect their device to our DAQ card for data acquisition. In this chapter, we will going to introduce the DAQ card software support, like Navigator and Data Logger. In the following page we will have clear introduction about them. Advantech Data Acquisition Card provide Data Logger and Navigator, these two software to capture the data to computer. We also support different kind of programming language, therefore the users can easily combine their program with the DAQ card. This page show you the user interface about the Navigator software. With this software, user can do the configuration setting and test the DAQ card function. Also it have signal connection introduction and programming reference. In this page, there have another software Data Logger. For the users who only need to display and recording the signal data, it is suitable to use Data Logger. Data Logger can display with zoom and pan operation, and save data to local file without any programming. It is very convenience for the users who don't want to develop the program. For the customer who want to have advanced application, like use Advantech DAQ card combine with their program. We also provide more than 25 different function examples. They can support multiple kind of programming language, such as C#, C++, VB.NET, LabVIEW, and so on. With these tools, users can easily use Advantech DAQ card to finish their application. In the following chapter, we will going to talk the architecture about Advantech Remote I/O module. Different with Advantech DAQ card, Advantech Remote I/O module is using RS485 or RJ45 to connection. Therefore it can support longer transmission distance. As the pictures show below, we can use COM port and LAN port to connection ATOM 4000 series module and ATOM 6200 series module to computer. In the following page, we will going to talk about the remote I/O architecture. For the remote I/O architecture, first we take ATOM 4017 Plus for example. ATOM 4017 Plus is the analog input module. For the hardware architecture, I will separate it to three part: data input part, communication part, and power input part. The analog data will through data part transfer to the module. Similar with DAQ card, it will go through multiplexer first and through amplification and filter, then transfer the data to ADC to convert. Next the data will be transferred to controller and use EEPROM to configure and save the data. In the end, it will through communication part use RS485 transfer the data to computer. For the ATOM 4017 Plus, due to it need power to active the module. Therefore it also have power input part. Please refer the yellow part wiring. In this page, we use ATOM 4051 Remote DIO module for example. The Remote DIO architecture, the digital data will through data part send to the module. For some isolation DIO module, the data will go through the isolation coupler. Next through digital input-output IC, then transfer the data to controller. With EEPROM to configure and save the data. Finally use RS485 communication, send the data to computer. After the remote I/O hardware architecture introduction. In the end we will going to introduce the remote I/O software support. Advantech Remote I/O module provide ATOM APAX.NET utility. Users can use this tool to test the remote I/O function as below picture. Also we provide .NET Framework library, therefore the users can integrate our library with their program. With these software tool support, users can decrease their developing time and debug easily. Thanks for watching this training video. You are welcome to keep watching the next one.